Ooh, what is going on, all you fellow Shinigami gods of death? My name is Reaper. Don't know why I had my phone over there. Welcome back to Ambre visual novel. I tried recording something else that didn't work, so I'm recording this. Alright, so hopefully everything's working, because I was having trouble with the Bandicam. So hopefully everything looks alright, because I can hopefully just put it in Sony Vegas and then render it out in at least 720p. Alright, so it says, the months flew by at breakneck speed. Tristan refused to admit it, but his young friend was growing up. He wanted to ignore the fact, turn a blind eye, but the unstoppable passage of time had already started to do its work. Ambre was going through a strange crisis that even she was particularly angry and proclaimed vigorously, "I don't want to be a child anymore." As she says, being a child? How so? I want to become older. But you have plenty of time for this, Ambre. See, I want to become older faster. That way I can do more things. Okay. The 30-year-old man sighed. He obviously did not know how to answer such assertions. He had never had a child, and he was not very good at calming down revolts regardless. Okay. This had better be recording right, otherwise I'm gonna break something, dude. Taken aback, he left the girl to soak in the living room to go take a long, relaxing shower. While he was soothing his worries in the rush of hot water, she displayed an angry pout. That's not fair. I wish I could be older right now. If I only had a model. What? I wonder what Tristan's wife looked like, for example. I'm sure that she was a kind person. But he never wants to talk about it. He avoids the subject. It could be that he is hiding something from me. Intrigued, Ambre took the advantage of his absence to open a drawer she had never touched before. Inside, under the telephone directory, was a big leather notebook. Convinced she had found a treasure, she grabbed it and opened it. It was a photo album. Spread on the pages were bright smiles and tender gestures. Browsing through the pictures, the little girl discovered her guardian, young and dashing, in the arms of a coquette-ish young lady. Okay. Dressed somberly and tastefully, she was strolling along the seashore with a shawl on her shoulders, or in a park holding an ice cream. But what caught her eye was a very specific picture that towered in the center of the album. Tristan, wearing a suit, was leading his lover out of a church with clumsy footsteps under a shower of flower petals. She looked so happy, so fulfilled in her large, refined white dress that Ambre was stupefied. What? All the more so as the bride looked exactly like her. Wow. She's so pretty. What are you looking at? Tristan's sudden appearance made her jump so much so she dropped the forbidden object. His gaze darkened immediately. He searched through the other one. Well, we got an achievement. So, you searched through the closet to see what my wife looked like, didn't you? She answered in a shaky voice, guiltily. Yes, are you going to scold me? Of course not. I just would have preferred that you didn't see it. Why? Why don't you ever talk about her? I want to know. Serial killer. He sighed, appearing upset as he looked into the begging eyes that he had never been able to resist for long. Reluctantly, he sat down on the couch and told her how he had met the one he thought would be the love of his life, and related all that they had gone through together. Ambre listened with wide-eyed attention. She liked that story very much. Tristan seemed to briefly get younger as he evoked the past, describing how head over heels he had been for her and how happy she had made him. I wonder what happened though. Guess we'll find out. Their peaceful and ordinary everyday life was something the little girl envied. Caught up in the tale, she couldn't help but pressure him, and then, what happened? Until the light shining in the man's green eyes brutally vanished. And then she left. Where to? Far away to a place where I can't reach her anymore. Every day I pray that she'll somehow hear me, that she'll wake up, that she'll remember me. I don't know if she'll ever emerge from that dream that keeps her captive. Is she dead? Sometimes I feel like it, but no, she's still alive, just in a different world from mine. If I could have joined her, I would have. I would have sacrificed everything for her, and today she's forgotten me forever. Ouch. That's sad. Tristan sighed again, head down, as a heavy, crushing silence came between them. Ambre stared at the photo, bewitched by the woman's smile. Deep down in her heart, she had an odd thought. If I was older, I could replace Tristan's wife, and he... What is this thing, man? That night, she left a devastated Tristan lying as immobile as a statue on the sofa. Slipping between the covers of her cozy bed sheets, she felt helpless. If only I was older. The thought took root more and more violently in her mind, to the point where it became an emergency. She had to become Tristan Mallory's wife. What is this thing? What is this? What am I playing anymore? It is so weird. After this, I don't know what I'm gonna do. This is about the weirdest thing I've ever played. As of... Not even as I do on YouTube. This is the weirdest thing I've ever played. Nothing can match this. A new routine seized little Ambre. It was now out of the question for her to stay a little girl. She wanted to grow as suddenly as a butterfly, a beauty cursed by its ephemeral life. What? Thus began a kind of adolescence. Okay? She no longer woke up in the morning when Tristan went to work. She waited until midday to surface and took her meal at that time. Tristan did not call her at the usual hour anymore either. He knew that she would not be in the mood. After a brief meal, the young girl watched television while leafing through magazines bought with the pocket money her benefactor gave her. Okay. Her afternoon fluctuated between American TV shows and beauty tips. Between the pages of the magazine, she learned how to become pretty She wanted Tristan to look at her, to take an interest in her in a different way. To be seen as a woman, she had to act as a woman, but she obviously didn't know how to do this. These magazines, which were overflowing with tips of all kinds, seemed like an El Dorado to her. Through the El Dorado. Doesn't El Dorado mean like the golden? Through the article, she learned how to act, how to become a true lady. It wasn't very complicated. She only had to keep a close watch on all of her gestures to constantly control her every movement, so as she conveyed the best possible message. She had to track down all human weakness, every inconvenience, and walk with a relaxed and self-assured air, but not too much, or she would crush. What? Ambre nodded as she was reading what the editor wrote. Of course, she had to be open and smiling, but not so much that she came across as exorbitant. She had to laugh often, but not too loudly, as it was what hysterics would do. She had to be independent and take initiative, but only if the situation lends itself to it and in a non-threatening way. She had to show herself to be as natural as possible while enhancing all her advantages with a note of makeup. Ambre understood the necessity of buying some in order to become a true woman. She had to dress in a feminine way to demonstrate her worth while being sober enough so as not to attract unwanted attention. And then she was advised to learn to listen to men, not to talk too much, which would be selfish, be discreet but present, available as soon as he needed without really showing it to him. What? As she turned page after page, the young girl felt a pressing urge to spend money on all the products shown in the advertisement and praised by the editors. After all, she would need them to... I'm done. This is the... This is the weirdest thing I have ever played. I got 6 more minutes after that. If it doesn't record... Okay. How could she have the slightest chance without cheating a little? Further down, a revealing psychological test claimed that Ambre would gain more affection by acting like a fragile little girl. What? Men needed to be reassured of their virtue and of their protector's role, plus she was too vulnerable, too frail. She couldn't manage anything worthy without some help. She had to find validation in his eyes, validation of her existence. If he thinks that I'm pretty, I'll be pretty. Look like in that photograph. Like this, Ambre spent her afternoons reading tips for women's matter, training herself to conceal. When she wasn't watching series, often romantic ones. She was shopping in the cities to bring back clothes, accessories, customers. The city, like the television, constantly spat images of absolute and infinite love, of a perfect and purifying love. Like a drug, and obligation and flawless pressure and order. Every billboard sold the same dream, and so cliche and so desirable. It was the pursuit of the fairy tale formula, and they lived happily ever after in opulence and had lots of... Novel and movie heroines all ran after the same goal, after the same lure of profit, wealth, and luxury, in life where everything would be easy. But where everything would have lost its taste, a dull and hollow life, an eternal masquerade. But this existentially emptiness was just as easy to fill. You only had to consume and be consumed. What? You only need to devote your soul, to spend even more, to remove the vestiges of nature, to hide the ridiculous body, to personal, to imperfect, to real, and to replace it with an eternal sheath and margin. You only needed to spend without restraint in order to conquer the piggy bank of your dreams. A mere machine that gives banknotes and weak organisms, what? To present yourself like a diamond, a beautiful, shiny trinket that everyone should have in their living room. You only need to destroy your own value. Immaterial, and replaced it with cold hard cash. And then you only need to bask in idealness, go around in circles in your cage without any purpose, to continue living in a dignified way, wandering like Lasso, disguised as a clown that drips with red in grim automation. What? You needs to... I'm gonna end it right here. If you guys enjoyed, hit that like button down below. Show some support. And if you are new, hit that subscribe button. Become a Shinigami. Got a death today. I really hope this recorded. I'll see all you dudes in the next video. Peace!